Hello, good morning world. I'm Joy from Joylight Transformational Coaching. I'm really glad to be back on Periscope. It has been quite a few days since I last came here. Thank you for joining me. So today is just a quick scoop before I run out of the house for a meeting. I want to talk about habits because this is something that we all have, right? Whether they are empowering or not. So a quick discussion about habits. Think about the habits that you have at the moment. What's the first thing that comes to your head when you think about that? Okay, I'm really bright, so I'm just gonna shift myself. Is this better? Awesome. Okay, so think about the existing habits that you have. Of course, there are various categories that you can think about, like your health habits, your eating habits, your sleeping habits, exercise habits, the way you like to talk to people, your communication style, your tendency to maybe you're very shy, you're overconfident, you're too talkative. Think about the habits that you have and whether they have been serving you so far. So the reason why I brought up habits is because in my goal setting program, Let's Step, which is here, one of the topics, one of the steps is actually habits, because I think it's very important. A side digression, which is, what do you think of yourself in terms of your willpower? Yes, we're talking about like superhuman capabilities here for most of us anyway. How do you score in terms of your willpower? Do you see yourself as, yeah, I have a lot of willpower and I always achieve what I set out to do. I don't fall into temptation, never, ever. So on a scale 0 to 10, when it comes to willpower, where do you think you stand? Now, I have big news for you. Do you know that willpower is not infinite? Hello? Yes, as in like there are times when you kind of do run out of it. Just think of energy. Are you energetic at the end of the day? Probably not if you have been hardworking at work. You probably feel tired at night, and when you wake up you feel refreshed because you have been well rested. So your energy is not infinite, isn't it? Well, so is your willpower. It doesn't extend throughout the day in the same amount of intensity. As the day goes by, as you grow more tired, as you get involved in more things, as your brain is processing so much stuff, your willpower will go down. You might be too tired. You will give in to certain things that you might have decided in your head beforehand that no, we are not going to do that. But then when nightfalls come, you might find yourself reaching out for that pack of cigarettes. Sounds familiar? Or maybe that. Another glass of wine, and another glass, and another glass. Well, so habits is a very powerful companion to go together with your willpower. So if you have effective habits installed, when the time comes, your resistance is low, you find that you don't have a lot of willpower, but if you have already installed those empowering habits, you are probably going to have a better chance of sticking to your schedule, sticking to your goals, sticking to whatever that you have agreed with yourself beforehand that you will do or not do. So can you see now the relationship between habits and willpower, and how together you're probably gonna have bigger success to achieve what you want? So yes, habits is important. So please think about the kind of habits that you have in your life. What new habits do you want? What are those habits that you've been thinking about installing in your life but never got around to it? Well, time to think about it, because it will make a significant difference. It will make a great distinction in terms of the results you achieve in your life. So that's just a quick thought for you from me. And as I've shown you earlier, please, if you have any goals that you've been working on but not getting too much success, or if there's any goals that you have not gotten around to it even though you thought about it, well, it's time to get started. Okay, it's your goal and it's your responsibility to take massive action so that you can achieve your goals. Well, I'm here to help. Guess what? You can take advantage of my goal setting program. Ta-da! Let's step. Okay, so it's a 12-step split into 3 action manual, and we have the online version, and as you can see we have the physical copy as well that we use for our Let's Step workshop, and which I also use for my private clients. So the good news is the online version of action manual 1 for Let's Step is free for you. So if you would like to take massive action, if you want to get started on your goals, take advantage of the free action manual 1. It will come in your inbox every other day for 4 days, so you have to commit to it. Please finish your homework for each step before the next steps arrive, and seriously think about what kind of goal you want, and habits happen to be also part of action manual 1. So lucky you will get it in your inbox. All you have to do is go to my website joylight.com and drop your email address, and then you will get it for the next 8 days. Make sure you do your homework. Okay, so check out my website is joylight.com, and you can find me at Twitter or Instagram at Joylight. Okay, and to finish off, I have a quote for you, which is, successful people are simply those with successful habits, a quote from Brian Tracy. And this is my formula for you: willpower plus habits equals to excellence and productivity. So take a look at this. Stay tuned for the next scoop. Meanwhile, do think about what I've said about habits, and go to my website, sign up for Let's Step. Okay, here's to your elevation. See you soon. Thanks for the heart.